I'm loading up these engines to bring up the Kama Saturday. We got the Dishpan 2-horse Z and the Stover KA. And the KA we still never have gotten to run. So it's Wednesday night and the show's on Saturday. So I'm hoping if I bring it home I can tinker with it. And it doesn't have spark when the mag's on the machine. So maybe we can get it sparking and see what we got. Not bad for 98 years old, huh? Still got the little cut going. 98 years old, dude. Still got a little bit of gas left in the primer cup. I'm going to turn it off. Cool. Alright, so this Magneto is giving me a hard time. This Wyco EK on the Stover KA, and I can get it to spark on the bench all day long, but my issue is when it trips the trip arm, watch, the amount that this opens doesn't seem to be enough for it to spark. But if I force it like this so it opens up a lot, then it will spark. So the question is, what kind of setting do I have to play with to get that to work right? Let me show you again. So if I was to start to trip it, it doesn't open very much and I get no spark. If I pull it back and I pull up on the spring area here like this, see how much it opens up? And then it will spark. So what am I missing here? What am I doing wrong? Thanks, guys. All right, we've got to get this mag working here for the Stover KA. Something's screwy. I don't know what it is, but I just watched one of the Shop Dog Sam videos on this Wyco EK, and he shows a way to take two 1/16 inch drill bits to set the point. So we're going to try it. Check it out. So what he does is he lifts up the armature here with a screwdriver, something like this, let's say. Can't do that one-handed. Hold on. All right, so lift up the armature and I put a 1/16 inch drill bit on each side. You said those points should just about be open right now, and that is not the case. They are way open, so I may have to pull the whole thing out to fix this, but essentially, yeah, I got to pull this all out. But I need to make this plunger longer so that there's pretty much no opening down there at this point. I posted a post on Facebook, and guys were saying that I may have play in here so that it's going side to side like this, but I don't really see much play in there. I think that maybe these points are just way out of whack or something screwy, you know? So anyways, what we're going to do is pull this whole mechanism out and lengthen this plunger a hair. And it's really close to where it should be. I mean, just like a turn maybe, and it's good. So let's give it a shot. All right, so this is the points here. And if I pull this spring down, it will expose a nut. And it's supposed to take a 7/32 wrench, but I don't have any wrenches that small, so I'm going to have to use a pair of pliers. But basically, I have to hold that nut and lengthen this thing. This bottom part threads in and backs up against that nut. So I got to basically just make this a little bit longer, like a hair longer, not too much, you know. And we'll see what happens then. All right, so I got the thing adjusted, and what Shop Dog Sam says is that if you put your drill bit underneath the point screw here, it should fit right in there like 1/16. So I put my drill bit in there and it's just a hair loose, which is what he recommended. So I think the gap is properly set. So I have another mag that I never used, and I'm going to bring that over here and we're going to compare the two. Well, here's my other mag. It's very dirty. It's been sitting around with no case on. It's getting rusted. I probably should button her up so that it doesn't get ruined, but I pulled the points out. Obviously, the felt washers on the one I'm playing with are broken. These ones are not broken, but that shouldn't affect our spark. What I was mainly wondering is how much play there is side to side on this pin, on this mag versus that mag. This mag is missing the piece that goes across on there. Anyways, let me put it on and let's see what kind of play we have on this one. Let's see. I mean, there's some play. You see that? It's not too much, but there's play on there. And pull it off. Let's pull this one off. The magnets are so strong that I can't really pull it off. I have to use a screwdriver and just give it a little pry, and it's really hard to get off. So let me take it off camera. All right, let's just compare these things for a minute. Kind of hard to see, but what I'm really interested in is this top piece where the pin is. This pin on here looks like it's brand new. I mean, this thing's in really nice shape. So I have a feeling that someone may have replaced this, but the question is, like, when I'm not getting enough pull, is this pin in the wrong spot or something? I'm just wondering if I was to measure up to where the pin is on both of them, are they in the same spot? And this is kind of crude to just lay it on top of each other like this, but it looks like they line up and they're the same thing, so that's probably not the issue. So I'm going to take the mag, and put it on here. This one has a lot more play than the other one from side to side. Whether that is a cause of my problem, I don't know. I don't know if it does or doesn't have more. I have to do this again. I need like a dial indicator or something to check that out, you know. When it's up high, it has a lot of play because it's not in there very far. Ooh, I just hit the magnets on. I can't get it off. Dopes. All right, I'm shaking it again here, and I don't think they're really any different between the two. So I'm going to chalk it up to that's not the problem. Somebody else mentioned putting springs on there. I'm not sure that the springs are the problem or what, but this all looks brand new. Well, I decided to look at all this linkage on the mechanism, and I just took some oil here and I oiled everything, and it's all moving now. This wasn't moving forwards and backwards before, so that may have something to do with my issue of it not coming down enough. So I oiled all these pivot points everywhere. So I'm hoping that that's going to do the trick. Let's try. All right, so I got the mag bolted on. I put a brand new W18 plug on it here. And let's see what happens. Dude, it sparked. Well, it sparked twice, I swear to God. What someone was telling me, they're watching my video and it's not pulling down even is what they were commenting on. I want you to watch this. Watch the left side. The left side will pull down before the right. Let me go slow. Here we go, watch. Let's see. Here we go, watch. The left will separate before the right, which is causing my problem. And yeah, here, watch. Left, then right. Left, then right. So there's a lot of play in this piece here where this bushing is. I'm going to try to take this soda can and cut a little shim and put it around there. Wrap it around that pin a couple times and see if I can make it thicker, which may help me. Otherwise, they're saying that that up and down shaft in there is worn and it's causing it to go cockeyed. So let's try to put a shim in. All right, so I cut this little sliver off. I'm just gonna snip it down here on the bottom and wrap it around that pin and see if it helps out at all. Well, just touching this pin with my finger, it's hard to see, but under my finger here is a complete flat spot. And like it's all worn. And looking in here, there's not like there's a spot that should be flat and a spot that shouldn't be flat. So I have a feeling that the guys that warned me that my pin were worn may be spot on. Either that or I need to rotate the pin, turn it a little bit so that the flat spots line up differently. I'm not sure, but I'm going to wrap it. All right, so I got about 3 turns around it with the Mountain Dew can. Let me see if I can actually get it into the holder there and see if that helps us out. I suppose I could buy a little bushing to put over it or something, or I could just look for a new pin. All right, so I got it squeezed in there. Let's hook it up and see what happens. All right, let's see. I got the shim in there. Let's see how it pulls down now. It pulls down a lot better now. That's awesome. It's hard to see, but there is a little bit of spark. Do you see that? That is a score, dude. Awesome. All right, I put some gas in it, and apparently the gas tank has a hole in it because it's leaking all over the trailer. But I just put the plug in there, and again, I've never run this thing before. We're gonna give it a shot here, see what happens. Let's see. I gave it a squirt of carb cleaner in the spark plug. Ooh. My valve was stuck in. My intake valve is all stuck. I give it some oil. Nothing. I don't know if it's getting gas in it or what. Nothing's coming out the exhaust. Oh well, tomorrow's another day. So I cranked on it a million times and I just pulled out the plug. There's no fuel in the plug at all. But it's a little darker now, and you can see that it is sparking. Very faint, but it's sparking. So we got to get some. It's so hard to see spark, man. Trust me, it is.